Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And today I want to do a review of the two Christmas books, I know, Christmas in July, the two Christmas in July books that I read last month. So for those of you that missed the announcement, well, you can do Christmas in August, I guess. But my friend Nikki and I, who used to be a part of the True Crime Book Club, and she's now one of my very dear Judies, my good Judy, Nikki, she and I came up with this idea to read two Christmas thrillers in July, to do like Christmas in July. We were going to do Frozen, ice, hot chocolates, and the whole 9 yards. She did that, I did not. But I had so much fun reading these Christmas thrillers in July, and it got me kind of excited about reading Christmas thrillers again. And I also thought to do these reviews would kind of give you guys some suggestions, at least two suggestions, for Christmas books to read if you like Christmas thrillers for this next year. So anyway, let's get into this. Now, let me kind of explain to you the backstory, okay, of reading these two books. So last November, I was getting back into physical copy reading, and I follow all these Facebook psychological thriller groups, and everybody was talking about this advent calendar book called 25 Days by Per Jacobson, okay? And the book is about a family that goes to a cabin in the woods, and every day is a chapter leading up to Christmas. So you read a chapter a day. So I said to Nikki, I said, I'm going to read this advent calendar book. Do you want to read it with me? And she said, yeah, let's do that. That'll be really fun, right? And I said, okay. So we started reading that one. Then I looked up advent calendar books, and there was another one that I read. Guess what it was about? Two couples that go to a cabin in the woods, a glass cabin in the woods. And it's about hot chocolate and murder. And anyway, so we were reading both of those, okay? And so during the month of December last year, every day, we would be like, did you read your chapters? Did you read your chapters? And we had so much fun reading these two Christmas advent calendar books. Now, the second one with Isla and the hot chocolate, I do not remember the name of that one. If Nikki remembers it, she can put it in the comment section below. But I would highly recommend the 25 Days, the Per Jacobson book, okay? You can buy it anywhere. I think it's free on Kindle Unlimited. But if you're going to do it, only read a chapter a day. It makes it more fun. And it really is kind of a scary thriller. I mean, even till the very last minute. So I loved it. And it took off last year. I was like, I can't believe that this is the first time ever anybody's thought about doing like an advent calendar thriller book. I thought it was genius. So we decided that we were going to read two Christmas thrillers in July, okay? So the two books that we picked were Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger and You Better Watch Out by James S. Murray. Now, both of these books were Christmas books that I had on my list to read last year. I already had them downloaded on Audible, so I was like, this will be easy. They were both short listens to on Audible. I think they were both like between 6 and 7 hours on Audible. I will tell you, I gave both of them 3 stars. They were good. They were not fantastic. And I will tell you about both of them too. Neither one of them felt like so specific to Christmas that if you read them in July, it really made that big of a difference. I mean, both of them had elements of Christmas, but it wasn't like I love the Christmas, is it Jacqueline Frost? The Christmas Tree Farm Mystery, Cozy Mystery series. I love it. Those are so Christmassy. I mean, they are Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. These were, I mean, they had a couple Santa Clauses in it and stuff like that, but they weren't so Christmassy that if you read them in November or February, it would really make that big of a difference. Now, I will tell you, out of the two, I liked You Better Watch Out better by James S. Murray, but let's get into these. I'm going to read you guys synopses on both of them, and then I'll tell you what I thought about them. Okay, so the first one that I read, or that we read, was Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger, and I think Nikki's feelings were very similar to mine. We both talked about them, and she felt very similar to both of them. Okay, instead of presents this Christmas, one true crime podcaster is opening up a cold case. When true crime podcaster Harley Granger drifts into Madeline Martin's bookshop days before Christmas, he seems intent on digging up a past that Madeline would much rather forget. Granger's work has earned him fame and wealth and some serious criticisms for his various unethical practices. Granger also has a lot of questions about the night Madeline was left for dead, the only surviving victim of killer Evan Handy. Handy, who also murdered Madeline's best friend and is suspected in the disappearance of 2 local sisters, has been in jail for a decade. Since then, though, 3 other young women have gone missing in similar circumstances. Is the true predator still out there somewhere? As Christmas approaches and blizzards bear down, Madeline must confront the past to answer questions that have haunted her since that day. Is the truth more terrible than she ever imagined? Coupling a picturesque, cozy setting with a deeply unsettling unsettling, and suspenseful plot, Christmas Presents is a chilling seasonal tale that can be enjoyed all year long. Okay, so some of the things I did not like about this book, and I don't want to completely spoil it for you, but so like it's one of those mysteries where like at the last minute, like something is introduced that makes absolutely no sense to the context. I liked how it ended. There was a very like kind of like very cool like protective scene at the very end that happens, but when you find out who the killer is, it matches, and like you're like, oh, but it's kind of only stuff that's introduced in like the very end of the book. Like you couldn't have figured it out unless you read the whole book. I don't like mysteries like that. I like mysteries that you can kind of figure out all along. The other thing is that it literally is like the countdown to like the 5 days before Christmas, and it's supposed to be like blizzardy. The synopsis is written better than the book. I'll just tell you that, okay? I mean, it's like, they make it out to be like very Christmassy, very blizzardy. They constantly, like in the book, she says in there, the author is constantly like, there's a blizzard buried down. But like, it doesn't really explain, I mean, it'll be like, it's snowing outside. But it doesn't really like, ever, like you don't ever get the impression that like, oh my God, I'm in the middle of a blizzard. You know, like if I'm reading a book and I'm in the middle of a blizzard, I want to feel like I'm in the middle of a blizzard. Do you know what I mean? When I read the Pear Jacobson book, which was not the best written book in the entire world, they're trapped in a blizzard out in the middle of a cabin. I felt like I was trapped in a blizzard out in the middle of a cabin. I didn't with this book at all. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was bad. And I thought like when you find out who the killer is, I was like, oh, I like that. Like that's like, it's good. Like it makes sense to the context of the book. I thought the book was fully realized. I think it would be really fun to read at Christmas time. Just because like if you're more in the Christmassy mood, like it might hit different than me walking down the street in the middle of July reading it, you know, while I'm on my walk. I don't know, it just, there were some things that were missing for me with it. But I didn't think it was horrible. It wasn't a good enough thriller for me. Like, to be honest with you, I really thought about this. Like, if I had read it in December around Christmas, would it have been like a 4? It definitely wouldn't have been a 5. Would it have been a 4 out of 5? I don't think so. Like, the mystery was not that grand. It was rather a flat mystery to me. I didn't think the characters were developed that well. And there was a lot of side stories that didn't ever connect to the main story at all. So that one for me was a 3-star. I would say, like, if you're looking for some good Christmas thrillers, I mean, last year I read some bad Christmas thrillers. So this was not bad, but it wasn't great, which is why I gave it 3, okay? So Christmas Presents by, what's her name? Lisa Unger. Now, the second one we read, was called You Better Watch Out. I heard a lot about this on Facebook. When did it come out? Oh, it came out October of 2024 last year, October 15th. That's probably why I heard a lot about it. But I heard a lot about this book on like the thriller book clubs on Facebook last year. But I didn't know anything about it going into it. From international best-selling authors James S. Murray and Darren Wearmouth comes You Better Watch Out, a suspenseful serial killer thriller that leaves you wondering, is Christmas really the best time of year? 48 hours until Christmas, Jessica Kane wakes up with blurred vision, ears ringing, and excruciating pain. A gash in her head and blood running down her face, the last thing she remembers is going for a run and something or someone hitting her in the head. It doesn't take her long to realize she is trapped in an unknown, deserted town with 5 other strangers who share similar stories of being attacked and stranded there. Unsure why and how they got there, she knows one thing for certain. She has to find a way out. That becomes nearly impossible when someone is meticulously orchestrating their deaths, one by one, and the only thing Jessica can do is watch the life leave their eyes. The fenced-in town is the killer's very own playground, and there's nowhere left to hide. She better watch out because she could be next. Now, I will say, I gave this one, I think, 3 stars too. I did. This one was a little bit better than the last one. This is more exciting, and this one feels like if you like the Saw movies, this feels like the Saw movies to me, okay? The problem with the synopsis, interestingly enough, is that it says it's from this woman's point of view, but when you read the book, it's not from her point of view, it's from a man's point of view. In fact, the book opens with him robbing an older couple at a store, a convenience store parking lot, and then they kidnap him and put him in this fenced-in area. I'm not really sure, unless they're trying to market this towards women, why they make the whole book sound like it's about this woman. There is a woman, I mean, there's several women in the book, and he does have a counterpart that he meets in this fenced-in area, but it's, I mean, she's not the main character in the book. He's definitely the main character all the way through to the very end of the book. So it's interesting to me that they play it that way. But anyway, it's about these people. You kind of find out over time. I don't want to ruin it because I would recommend this one. But this is another one that you don't necessarily have to read at Christmas time. Like if you read it at Halloween, I think it would hit the same. The only thing about Christmas is it's like a countdown to Christmas. I mean, not like an advent calendar book, but like something happens on Christmas morning. So they have to figure out everything by like Christmas morning. That's the only thing that feels Christmas to me. I mean, they're running around these woods that are snow-filled and stuff like that. So it's this made-up town that they're stuck in. And they're all there because they're like bad people. And so this is kind of like retribution. And then people are trying to kill them and they have to get out of this town. And that's what it's really about. It's like all these like bad people that are like thieves and whatever. And I don't know, it's interesting. There's some commentary. As a person that's sober, there's some commentary on addiction that I didn't love in this book. But other than that, like, I'm not gonna like get too deep about that. But you know, I thought it was an interesting book. I haven't really ever read anything like this. It reminded me more kind of like zombie fiction of like going into stores that are closed down and like, you know, hoarding stuff like food and whatever and being careful of like, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of reminded me more of like The Walking Dead than it did of like a Christmas mystery thriller. But again, I gave it 3 stars. I didn't think it was horrible. I didn't think either one of them you had to read specifically at Christmas. I'm glad I read both of them. They were fun. We'll definitely do Christmas again, probably next year in July. Now, Nikki and I might in December, if you want to read some more Christmas thrillers. Nikki and I haven't mentioned it to her yet, but I'm sure she'll be down for it. Maybe Nikki and I will host another Advent calendar book. I'm coming up with this right now, can you see? And 2 Christmas thrillers for the month of December. I'm sure when I say it to her, she'll be like, yes, let's do it. The other thing I want to tell you is that Mel and I are coming up with a year-long readathon, very similar to the Alex Cross readathon with the James Patterson books. So if you have any mystery thriller series out there that you've always wanted to read, not 3 books, not 5 books, but many books that we could read over the course of a year, let me know in the comment section below so that Mel and I can come up with that for 2026. Anyway, let me know if you've read these books and what you thought about them in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.